welcome back, Sydney.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Enjoying this swampy weather outside?
Not really. I was really excited because it started to get warmer out and sunny, and now it's raining. I don't like the rain.
Welcome to the Midwest, right?
Yes.
So I know last time you said you were getting kind of stressed because you got the kind of last minute eviction notice.
Yeah.
I don't know if eviction would be the right word, but yeah.
Yeah, it was like a month by month lease,
Yeah.
but we weren't aware of that, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. We found a place, so that was definitely a stress reliever. We're all moved in, and things are set up now, so it kind of calmed down a little bit.
So your dog getting used to the new place?
Kind of. So she's like a dog where you can just let her out the door and she'll like go back in by herself and come back, or like she'll stand next to you. She doesn't need a leash. And now at the new place, I have to have her on a leash. So she gets very confused when I'm out there standing next to her, and she just looks at me. Instead of going to the bathroom. So sometimes we stand there for 20 minutes, and she still hasn't gone. So she'll get used to it, but it's definitely a little bit of an adjustment for her.
Getting a little shy. Doesn't like to be stared at.
Apparently
when
not.
I'm in the bathroom. I know some dogs are like that. I know my friend's dog's like that. She has to get a retractable leash so he can go so far away.
Yep. Because then she just looks at me.
Otherwise,
why are you here? Are we going somewhere?
Well, I'm glad you both are adjusting to the new place.
Yeah.
And everything seems to be going well so far.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're closer to school and work now too, right?
Yeah, I'm about, I want to say, well, work I'm farther away. Work was like only 5 to 10 minutes away from me, and now it's like a half hour. School, I'm like only 20 minutes, 25 minutes when traffic's bad, so that's closer, which is nice. I'd rather that be closer than work, but.
Kind of averages out then. Alright, so kind of switching gears and going back to what we did in the last session, we kind of expanded your goals and then created a new goal. So the first one was to add a second day to doing homework, so that way you're not procrastinating and waiting till the last minute. So how's that been going?
Actually went 2.5 days.
Nice.
I was pretty proud of myself. I think it was like after we got in a new place, like everything's really clean right now, like we don't have to worry about as much. So not having to worry about keeping the house clean while we're both busy was nice. So I had like extra time on my hands, and I actually sat down and did my homework instead of just sitting there watching TV. So that was good.
That's good. And so you are staying at home, you're not going to like the library or coffee shop.
I was gonna try that, but then I've been productive at home so far. I feel like if I stop being productive, then I'll go someplace else.
Fair enough. What do you think is keeping you productive at home? Is it because it's clean because you just moved in, or?
I feel like the moving process just like motivated me a little bit. Just like we had to pack everything up, and I'm like, I just want to get everything unpacked, get everything done. So that mindset has kind of stuck right now. So I'm like, okay, let's get this homework done. It's almost the end of the semester. You can push through it and do it. So.
Do you think that motivation will continue on, or?
I hope so, because like I've seen the positive effects of it. So I'm hoping like it continues, and that'll help me keep me motivated. It's like, okay, it really is good for you. Like you're less stressed. Your homework, I feel like, is been better quality since I'm having more time to work on it. And I'm not just turning it in at the last minute.
That's good. So, what do you think you will do if you do kind of hit that roadblock and like you don't get that motivation anymore, like at home?
Honestly, it's something I haven't thought about, I guess. I feel like that is where I just have to find a way to push myself to keep going. I don't know what that would be.
That was going to be my next question. What does that look like exactly?
Maybe, I guess, because I was doing the journaling with like the thoughts and stuff, and I feel like when I work ahead on things, I feel better about myself. So maybe like just keeping track of like how I'm feeling, and like if I see more negative like thoughts building up, maybe it's like, okay, working ahead on things actually does help, so maybe you should do that so you don't feel as bad about yourself.
And speaking of the negative thoughts, what kind of have you noticed from doing that?
I feel like a lot of times I'm harsh on myself when I shouldn't be. And I think about things a lot more, or like they'll keep repeating in my head, like I feel like if I said something dumb, or if I did something dumb, I'll just keep thinking about it instead of letting it go. So I'm noticing that more now, even just like in the back of my mind, it's still there.
Tell me a little bit more, like, can you be more specific?
I haven't, like, I don't have like a specific example, but like if I've done something embarrassing in front of somebody, or like I got something wrong when it was really obvious, like you could have done better, or like why did you say that? And then I'll keep thinking about like what had happened.
And then has writing the positive next to it helped kind of?
Yeah, I mean it makes me see it in a different light. Where I'm like, okay, you don't necessarily need to be mean to yourself for no reason.
Have you noticed a decrease in those negative thoughts since you've started doing that?
Yeah, slightly. I didn't do it as much as I probably should. Like, there were some days I forgot to write things down. But definitely on the days where I was writing things down, I was more aware of it as it was going on.
That's definitely understandable too. Life gets busy and we get sidetracked from things that we need to do or probably should do, right?
Yeah. There's always a should.
Yes. So going forward, what do you think you can do to kind of help yourself stay in that positive mindset?
Probably just keep with the journaling until like I'm more comfortable and it becomes a habit to just correct myself in my mind and not have to write it out. Or I'm noticing it right away.
And then, so how were you keeping track? Were you keeping it on your phone? Were you writing it down?
Well, I had like sticky notes that were shoved in my backpack, and so when I remembered, I would pull one of those out and write it down and write the thing and like just shove it back in my backpack. So that's how I was doing it. I mean, there's probably a better way, but yeah.
You just have to do what's best for you. So if sticky notes is working for you, keep doing it. I love sticky notes, especially when you get all kinds of colors.
Mine are just the standard yellow, the cheapest ones.
There you go.
And I'm a grad student, so.
That is also a thing that you need to think about. So what do you think is helping you kind of keeping to your goals? Are you motivating yourself, or is there something else?
I guess I'm more motivating myself. I don't really have anybody else like around me. It's like family or like super close friends or like are in school and anything like that. So they're done with that. They don't worry about it. So like they don't really relate to me anymore when it comes to that. My roommate has to lesson plan and things like that, but a lot of the stuff she has is like already prepped, or she has like an outline or something and she just works on it at work. So we're never working on things at the same time, so I don't really have a motivation there.
Do you think these sessions are helping you?
Yeah, I think it's helping me find ways, like the journaling, like I would never would have thought of that on my own, like that's helping, and like having a set goal is helping a lot.
And then what do you think would happen if you didn't have this anymore?
Well, I mean, there's definitely where I wouldn't be talking to anybody about it, and it might be where I just like start letting it go because it's not like a constant reminder. But also I feel like I've learned a lot about myself, so I think I'll be able to keep it.
So when you're thinking of this not happening anymore, what can you do in place of this? Like if something were to happen in a session were to cancel, or what's kind of another motivation?
Maybe just talking to my roommate, or even my mom or somebody, just talking to them with what I'm struggling with or something like that. Because they'd be open to listening to me, like they're very supportive. So talking to them when I run into a problem would be helpful.
And that sounds like a good idea, because we've talked before that you have a pretty open relationship with your mom. You talk almost every day, and your roommate, you hang out all the time. You live together.
We live together, there's no option.
So that's always a thing too, because that is something you need to start considering, because we're not going to be together forever.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
So that is something that we need to start prepping for. We probably need a few more sessions, I'd say, just to make sure you're consistent and you're comfortable with doing everything alone. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about kind of slowly easing away from
I'm
counseling?
comfortable with slowly easing away. Like I'd say like a 7, because I know like we have a couple sessions left, so we have time to work things out and like iron it all out and figure out what I'm gonna do. And so I'm pretty comfortable with it right now.
So what would be an ideal situation for you? Like, how would you want this to end?
How would I want this to end?
Yeah.
Okay, so well, I'd like to be completely confident in myself, obviously, when it comes to sticking with my goal. But really, it's more of having like a set goal and having set things that I'm gonna do when I run into my problems. Like, you're gonna talk to your roommate, or you're gonna talk to your mom. These are, like, you're gonna journal when you run into where you're not feeling as motivated, so it reminds you, things like that. Just having a set plan, I guess.
And what can I do in that process to kind of help prepare you for that?
Maybe just work through it with me, like, put some scenarios where, like, if this is a problem, like, how would you solve it, or like, where would you turn to, I guess.
Thinking of the roadblocks.
Mhm.
So it sounds like you are getting ready to kind of cut the ties and move away from home, as it were.
Slowly working my way there.
And I think you're ready too. I mean, you've surpassed your goals from 1 day to 2 days. You're doing 2.5 days now.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's, you don't need to expand it like that. Hopefully, or expand it more. Hopefully you're not getting slammed with homework and getting overwhelmed.
Hopefully not. I feel like it's the end of the semester, so there's a bunch of big projects due, but you have to expect that. So.
Yeah. Are you planning on taking a summer session?
Yes, I am. 3 classes.
3 classes? Are you excited?
Not really.
Okay. Fair enough. But do you think you can take what you learned from this semester and move it to next semester and future semesters?
Definitely, because, well, like, 2 of my classes are, like, only half of a summer session each.
Okay.
So I'm only really taking 2 classes at the same time, because one is the full 12 weeks. So I feel like having less classes will give me more of a chance to, like, set those days in stone or really work on stuff, because there's not as much to worry about.
I think that's good that you're thinking about your schedule ahead of time, and I think that's going to be really beneficial in future, just so you know what you're doing and you know what days you can set aside, so you're not procrastinating and waiting until the last minute. So that would definitely be helpful. So what I was thinking is, since we do have a few more sessions left, is kind of easing it out. So kind of expanding that gap between sessions. So we'll slowly taper off. So instead of doing like every week, we'll go to like every other week. And then
Okay, so just
then
kind
a
of
month.
spacing it out more.
Until
Okay.
we won't have any more sessions.
Okay.
Does that sound like something that will help you?
Yeah, I think it's like a way to slowly build into it, so it's
Mhm.
not just like shocking when like having a
Yeah.
session every week and then all of a sudden you're not there
You
anymore.
just shut the door in your face. That's something very different. And so, does that make you feel comfortable and think that help your confidence and making sure we have those goals set in stone?
Yeah, I like how it slowly builds into it, and I'm definitely comfortable with that because it gives us a chance to work through things. I can learn how to be on my own more and not have you there constantly every week.
I think it will definitely be something good. And then, of course, I'm always going to be here if something drastic happens. You can always set an appointment in between those gaps, or if we finally end everything and something else happens, you can always come back. Just because we're ending it doesn't mean you have to suffer in silence. And
Well, I definitely appreciate knowing that you'll always be there, that I don't
I'll
have
be
to
here.
just figure it out on my own all the
Yes.
time.
I think that will definitely kind of help with everything. So do you have any questions about that process, or any questions you can think of?
So how many sessions would you say that we would have left, I guess?
Right now, I would say probably 2.
Okay.
If we need to expand it like another month, that's fine. But the way things are now, I think you're, good to go. You're finding that motivation. And I think it's at this point just thinking of worst case scenarios. If, X happens, how will I adjust and things like that. But you've already started thinking of that. So that's always a good sign. You're definitely feeling comfortable and kind of starting to think ahead. Does that sound good?
Sounds good too, yeah.
The only thing I would say between now and the next session is make sure you're setting aside those 2 days more if you need it. 'Cause I know finals are
definitely need it.
I know that can be very stressful, making sure you're writing those negative thoughts down and turning them into positives, because that seems to be helping as well.
Alright.
That's all I've got for now, unless you have any other questions.
I don't have any that I can think of right now.
Alright, well then we'll see you in a few weeks then.
Okay.
See ya.